This is not a good situation for gamers. I'd classify myself as a gamer, kinda. But you know what? I saw this coming. I've been seeing it coming for a while. And I'm here for it, man. 'Cause I've been warning everybody. So many people have been warning everybody. Like, hey, we're gonna have to make a change. People are gonna have to stop buying into these shit games or everything's gonna get worse. And look, here we are. Everything got worse. Now people just aren't buying games. People are still playing games. They're just not buying them. They are playing old games because there's so many good old games that people haven't played, and they're going back. That's what I'm doing. I'm playing games that I haven't played, or games that I really, really love that I haven't played in a long time. And there's nothing that they can do about it except remove them from my library, I guess. But good luck removing the ones that I have on my offline server. Gamers are dying out. Yes, really. Okay, tell us about it. What's going on?
Sometimes things feel different, but you can't quite put your finger on why. Well, today you're going to find out why, because gaming has changed. We've got new data that suggests 93% of kids prefer playing games on phones. Not PC, not console, phones. So
probably because it's cheap as fuck, because everybody's got a phone, so they're obviously going to go to their phone before they go out and buy a fucking $700 console that they can't afford because they work at McDonald's.
I remember your boy Wyatt.
Not shitting on people who work at McDonald's. I'm saying, like, people aren't making very much money. They don't have the money to spend on a console for gaming when they could just game on their phone.
Don't you guys have phones? Oh dear. Turns out he was a little bit prescient. But here's another aspect to it. It's how these kids engage with games. Here's a quote. They no longer identify as gamers. They identify as players of a specific game. So it's
right. Yeah, whenever they go into Roblox, they're not playing really like one Roblox game. They're playing all the games that are on the Roblox platform, and I think that's bad. I think people aren't really going to have memories of games like people like me had. I know specific games. I can go back and play the games that I used to play, all of them pretty much, because they're all out there online. Or you can go buy a physical copy, and there's lists of all the greatest games of all time. And so I played a lot of them when they released. And kids aren't gonna have that. It's like whenever a Roblox server shuts down, it's just gonna be gone.
It's not that games are a medium that they like. It's that they play Roblox or they play Fortnite. So directionally, based on the real trends that we're seeing, the future of gaming looks like it's people who are fans of one game that probably play it on a phone, which is a bit weird. I don't like it, and it raises a big question. What does it mean for people who prefer what I'll just call traditional gaming experiences?
I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't. Because if it means that all of the console and PC games are going to be shit, I'll just go back. I'm already there. I'm already out on all the new games. There's going to be definitely like the big games like Resident Evil 9. I definitely am getting that game. That game sounds like it's going to be fucking amazing.
Maybe people like you and me. Okay, so in our last video, we looked at gaming's past and compared it to now. And we talked about the 1983 game crash that leveled the American games industry. It's at
American, by the way. It only really happened in America. The entire rest of the world was fine.
Any standards for where we are now, but there is a side effect that we didn't talk about, and it's one that's key to gaming's future. You see, when games resurged in America post-1980s game crash, they were sold as toys for children, and that decided the marketing for
and I think Nintendo's still in that mindset where they're selling toys to children.
Next 40 years. The medium literally grew up alongside its audience. You had Rob the Robot marketed to young boys. Then came G4, Tony Hawk, Call of Duty for the cool teenagers. I was a cool teenager, totally.
Me too.
No, I wasn't. Now, of course,
that was awesome, man. I was playing Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. That game was so fucking awesome.
We have. Well, we've got cinematic sad dad games like The Last of Us. Yeah.
Dude, I bought The Last of Us when it came out, day one on PS3, and it was phenomenal.
Growing up with us, I'd absolutely say gaming has always been for everyone. Anyone can pick.
Too bad what happened with the second one.
Up a game, a Nintendo game as an example, but the culture and the marketing, not so much. It has.
I'm completely out on Nintendo. I don't even care.
been targeted. And I want you to think about Battlefield 6 and how it just got revealed, because they unironically...
Yeah, I'm also out on Battlefield 6, Call of Duty. I'm out on all these, like, big time shooters. I wish that they would focus more on single player again.
Played Limp Bizkit. Yeah.
I want Battlefield Bad Company 3, damn it.
Limp Bizkit. So, you know, go take your medicine if you've remembered this track. And it does kind of show us something. The culture and marketing around the game industry hasn't changed with technology. They haven't changed with demographics. The kids of 2025, they will not be impressed by Limp Bizkit selling a game in the way that maybe the target audience of Battlefield 6 will feel nostalgic, especially one that needs a $600 console. And why would they be?
Right.
They have thousands of experiences on
I'd rather buy a PC for that price.
their phones.
Like, even if the PC is a little bit less powerful than the console that I'm gonna buy, I can do other things with a PC. And I play old games anyway, so, like, it doesn't really matter all that much to me.
Experiences that are, to them, just as entertaining. Or, should I say, to their brain chemistry and systems are just as engaging. Personally, I think there's something to be said for the depth of an experience. But basically, that's what they think games can and should be. And now we've got data, we've got stats to back it up. And, well, take your Vicodin, because this is kind of going to hurt. IGN's State of Gaming report frames this as a generational shift, and it does go along with a lot of other data that we've seen. Essentially, Gen X and millennials think of gaming in terms of platform loyalty. That's, you know, the 70s through to the 90s generations. So
yeah, when they were catered to by all the console wars mumbo jumbo, I didn't really buy into any of that. I just got whatever I could afford, whatever was there first, whatever I was thinking about. I went from the PS2 to the 360, and it wasn't because that I didn't like the PS3. It was just that was up on the market at the time, so I got that. That was what was on sale at the store. I didn't get 360 when it first came out. I got it like 2 years later.
basically, most of the people watching this video, at least per the demographics I see on YouTube, we're no strangers to tribalism in gaming. That's why we, you know, have a console war or a PC master race. But distinctions between platforms are...
Yeah, but now I don't even care. I just stick to PC, and I got games on Steam, I got games on GOG, and I got games on the EMU.
Of course, completely breaking down. We see that. I mean, the need for a platform is kind of disappearing. We see that in cross-platform games, but younger generations simply do not engage in the same way whatsoever. Here's some stats to make that make sense. 93% of under 13s prefer playing games on their phone. So that's the 2000s to 2010s generation. The cooked generation. Only 15%.
Yeah, the only games that I can play on my phone is like, I can play Stardew Valley. That's like the only thing.
Prefer a core PC, which of course is very sad. And by PC, it's probably a laptop. Even 32% of millennials now prefer playing on phones. I have to wonder if it's because, well, the torment nexus that is called the world has cooked all of our brains to the point where that's really all that we can latch on to. You know, convenience. But for those numbers in the 80s...
Yeah, convenience and affordability, because phone games for the most part are free, and phones, everybody's got to have them anyway, and a lot of these games will work on like every phone. So, you know, if they want a game, they're going to game.
90s,
why
well,
spend money?
That's what those people have grown up with. Now, this graph from Matthew Ball's State of Gaming report does help to explain everything as well. Let's look at Roblox as a case study, which of course does mean content warning. Get ready for some real goddamn sheer horror. Roblox has existed since 2007. That was the first full year of the Xbox 360, PS3, and the Wii. But it didn't take off properly until 2016. It didn't really explode until an audience fluid in tablets began playing, and then the pandemic.
Yeah, it makes sense. People are fucking retarded, man. A lot of parents are fucking retarded. They don't care. They just let the tablet parent their kids.
Kind of changed everything. Mobile play massively increased, but here's the key difference. Unlike the rest of the industry post-pandemic, Roblox kept growing. Yeah, so you know the way we talk about the games crash and all that stuff? Well, maybe that happened in some places, but Roblox, it's the one place where those trends actually held. And it's outperforming everything.
And let me tell you, it'll crash all at once, and it's going to be real bad. And a lot of people are going to be very upset when it happens.
This one's crazy. Grow a Garden has the highest concurrent user base ever of a game, with 21.3 million players. It was made by a 16-year-old in 3 days. So, you know, compare your multi-hundred staff AAA studio to a 16-year-old in 3 days, and feel sad. And that might sound alarming.
Yeah, spending 300 million, 600 million, over $1 billion on games. Holy shit. And a game like this destroys them. A game like Schedule 1 just embarrasses them. Even like when you get beautiful games, you got Expedition 33. Holy shit. How embarrassing for AAA games.
It is alarming. Is this where gaming's going? I mean,
No.
We're already seeing Sega and Starbreeze
For a little while, it'll go like this. And then there'll be a sudden crash. People will get tired of it. And it's going to be like the biggest people are going to get tired of it and they're going to hop off, which has already happened. But it'll happen again. It'll happen a few times. And audiences change. There'll be another game that comes out. Like, imagine a game that comes out that actually is pretty, that doesn't look like Roblox. That's gonna kill Roblox. Fortnite could do it.
licensing official games in Roblox. Like a Dragon, Payday, those are in Roblox. You could think the industry will coalesce into platform agnostic mega games, that kids will grow up with them as basically second homes, and that those will wipe out everything else. And I get the fear, and I know why the fear-mongering can work, and there are some things to be afraid of, but
I think it means that we're going to get more passion projects and less AAA slop. That's what I think. I think we're still going to get good games for PC and consoles, if consoles are still able to exist, but we'll definitely still get some on PC that are going to be a lot smaller. They're going to be indie projects, or they're going to be really small AA projects, and they're going to be passion projects. No more AAA slop to make games that are just money generators.
the thing is, that's already how the games industry works. And I'd say we're already feeling some of the downsides. So
I'm feeling good about the gaming industry. I think it's going good. I think it's going to be going even better. All the AAA games, no, not going good for those. Even the AA games, a lot of them are slop. But like, when it comes to the indie scene and the retro scene, I know they're getting rid of a lot of old games, but it's a lot of games that I didn't play, honestly. But like, it's going so strong. Especially the indie scene and the indie AA scene.
what if I told you that Call of Duty and Counter-Strike are basically just Roblox, but for boomers? I don't know why I'm saying Call of Duty and boomers. Let's say Counter-Strike. Yeah, CS is boomer Roblox. Now, it literally isn't in many ways, but what it is a mono game. Because for many of those people, that may as well be the only game that they play. On our other channel, I cover a lot of World of Warcraft because...
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't just stick to one game. I like to have experiences. I'm a single player game kind of guy. I like my survival experiences. I go back and play Minecraft all the time. I'm actually doing a Minecraft playthrough on my own, not on my gaming channel. But on my gaming channel, I do like playthroughs. You know, I'm not sticking to one game, which it probably should if I want to get that channel super successful. But man, I'm running that channel for fun.
It unfortunately got its claws into me when I was young, and now I can't escape. And to many people, World of Warcraft is basically the only game they need, the only thing they play. Now, every month, we get a new report from Circana, right? This is their engagement report. And every month, what do we see? We see the same 10 games report the highest player counts. Console and PC space. Now, sometimes a cool indie like Peak will punch through, especially in PC. And
it's crazy that Cyberpunk remains up there because that's a single player game.
Looking at Matthew Ball's work, he has found the same pattern since 2021, where on PC, 5 games make up 30% of total playtime. Those games are COD, Counter-Strike, Fortnite, League, and Minecraft. The top 10 games, those eat up 50% of playtime on average.
Yeah, eventually there'll be something that'll come along that'll bump some of those out.
What that essentially means is massive concentration. But on consoles, things are even more concentrated.
Honestly, like, I think we're pushing ourselves into Sword Art Online Excel world territory. We're gonna have like online worlds that are gonna be virtual and away from the real world. And if we go the way of Excel World, that's going to be crazy because we'll be experiencing these worlds in hyper reality where real reality is slowed down, or actually we're moving so fast that it seems like it's slowed down. That's crazy. If you haven't seen Excel World, I recommend it or read it. Actually, I'd recommend reading it, but still watch it too. It's good. It's technically based in the Sword Art Online universe, but in the future.
It takes just the top 5 games to hit 50% of total playtime. Those are COD, FIFA/EAFC, Fortnite, GTA, and NBA 2K. The top 10 reach 60% of playtime. So where does everyone else live? The answer is in the margins, 6.5%. What is that number? This will shock you. That is the total playtime for newly released games in 2023.
Good.
And it was a
Fuck 'em.
good year. Just 4 games took...
Yeah. I remember back in 2002 when we had, like, you couldn't keep up with how many games were coming out, how many great games, like groundbreaking games were coming out in 2002 and, you know, around those times, like all the way through the 90s, the early 2000s, even the quote unquote bad games were pretty good. Resident Evil 5, pretty good. Resident Evil 6, people hated that, man. People hated it. It was still pretty good.
Half of that 6.5%, which were Baldur's Gate.
I want to go back to the Resident Evil 6 being a problem. Can we go back to those times?
Starfield, Diablo 4, and Hogwarts Legacy. There's strong games in there, yet only 6.5%. Why? Well, it's because only so many people are willing to play those new games. Because much like the kids...
They cost money, man. They cost a lot of money, and they keep getting more expensive, and they're slop. Most of them are sloppy. Even the great ones aren't as great as they should be.
Who only plays Roblox, or maybe the teen who only plays Fortnite. For a lot of people, they only play COD. They only play EA. They only play CS. And Yuzu's 2025 report shows something that's also interesting. The number of people playing just 1 to 3 games per year has actually increased consistently over 4 years. That's across Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox. And the times where people do play more games, those are just when AAAs have a bad year. And that is the closest correlation they've found. Of that 1 to 3 game group in Steam, the majority...
And guess what? Guess what? It's gonna get worse. It always gets worse. Nothing's being done about it. And the corporations are just gonna chase the money to the point where they shitify everything, and then there's just gonna be a sudden crash, and nobody's gonna be playing any of these games, and indie games are gonna skyrocket.
Majority play Counter-Strike, 37%, or Dota, 10%. So even then, it's still...
Mark my words, people are going to be talking more and more about indie games. I'm seeing more and more people talk about indie games, and I'm seeing more and more posts about indie games being recommended to me, even though I don't really interact with that kind of stuff, but I still see it so much, man. It's like the algorithm's really pushing it. Or maybe there's just so much going on that it's just taking over the algorithm a little bit.
Very much a case of mega games. And what we see here is it's
Mega
not
games.
just the kids. No, it's actually the way that
And like all of the games that I play are smaller games. They're either smaller AAA games that are older that were probably really big games when they came out. I'm playing games like Terraria. I'm playing games like Civilization 5, you know? It's not these giant hundreds of millions of dollar experiences that I'm playing. Resident Evil 4 OG. Man, I'm about to play Evil Within.
multiple industries within the games industry have went. Most players have their game. They might try something else, but they very often don't.
Yeah, I don't
and the
get
numbers
it.
back it up. Now think about kids playing games on their phones, or teens
Yeah, I've
playing
got friends that stick with one game. I've got a friend that, or two friends actually, they both just play Destiny 2, and that's it. And I think Destiny 2 is trash. There's so much that you could play that's so much better. But no, they just play Destiny 2.
games on their phones. What does that mean for the next generation? What does that mean for people who, according to this research, do play a lot of games and are responsible for, well, at least in Roblox, one of the things that's holding up game industry growth, like literally pretty much the only thing that has continued the COVID trends that all the investor types hope for? Well, those people don't think of themselves as gamers. So what does that mean for the next generation of games? You may have heard of the now departed investing legend Charlie Munger. One of his good lines is, "Show me the incentive and I'll show you the outcome." And what these reports show us is that the incentives are changing because the audiences are changing. Companies that need a larger audience will need to meet people where they are. We're seeing that games like Genshin and Infinity Nikki look like Ubisoft-style mega games, but they're launching across console, PC, and phone. Where Winds Meet does the same. That is the new priority. And it's why PlayStation and Xbox...
Yeah, I think we're going to get a lot of, like, banger games, man, that are going to be in that style, and I'm still not going to play them. I'll just go back and play old games. I don't care about these online games.
Both
Online experiences.
Different approaches, but same goal. These audiences expect instant access to huge libraries of games, not individual purchases. And this trickles down into design decisions. Take a look at EA's releases this year. Battlefield and Skate are effectively franchise revivals. They are legacy games coming back for an aging audience who loved them, along with some Limp Bizkit to handle the marketing. But they're different. And honestly, in an exciting way, because they are both launching with user-generated content tools.
That's cool.
Often
I didn't know that.
I think of UGC and I think of some bizarre, skibbity situation with a lot of very vibrant colors that makes me feel old and confused happening in
man, I feel you.
Roblox. Well, what does UGC mean for something like Battlefield? I'll tell you what it means. Extremely impressive shit, at least based on what we've seen from BF6 so far. So it could very much be that those dynamics work for the audiences of those games, and that if done right, those games could see growth in a similar-ish way. And there is some precedent as well. It's a little thing that we call the modding culture of PC gaming, right? Pretty big. Just that this time it's framed through Roblox's horrifically predatory ecosystem, one that uses kids to generate infinite revenue.
Yeah, that's so fucked up, man.
Moral
I
issues
fucking hate Roblox.
very much exist. But goddamn, what a business model. Turns out just child labor.
Yeah, I actually think if we go through and actually fix all these problems, that Roblox will die. I think these problems persisting is part of the reason it's so popular.
That's where it was at all the time. Child labor, parents' money, what could go wrong? Now this demographic change opens audiences up to new sorts of experiences. These kids find new modes daily. They play new games daily within their Roblox. Maybe to them, they have an incredibly diverse gaming library and are playing new things absolutely all of the time, in a way that you or I maybe don't, because firing up a new indie game, learning a bunch of new systems and all of that legit just takes brain effort. I mean, for a simple example, it's no wonder that systemic experience-driven games like Peak or Lethal Company take off and then get microtransaction-filled clones in Roblox to get that parrot money. But certain games simply don't matter to this changing audience. Because so far in this video, we've not talked about linear single-player narrative games, which so far do seem to be...
Also, if they keep allowing these clones to persist, they're gonna get stacked with lawsuits, man.
Limited to sad dad games. They just aren't in the equation here. Even though I'd wager those are the games that most people watching this channel care about quite a bit indeed. That might be a shocking thing, but it might be the best thing for the games that you love. Okay, think of this. The highest rated network broadcast of 2024 was Tracker. It got 11.34 million views.
I thought he was about to tell me it was gonna be, The Last of Us. Dude, they tried to tell me so hard that it was so good, that it was #1. And then when I'd go and look at the numbers, like seriously, a bunch of articles said that it was #1 and it won so many awards. But like, you look at the list and it looks like this. Where's The Last of Us on this list? It's not on there.
And Matlock revival followed, all exceeded 15 million viewers. Massive successes. But the market is so big that you may not know about them. I literally did not know about any of those things until I came upon doing this video. Now, those shows massively outperformed Emmy-winning things like Shogun, The Bear, The Traders, Hacks, and all of those were outperformed by Squid Game and Netflix, which itself was outperformed by TikTok and social media. But it doesn't mean those experiences are being wiped out, and I think that's where we're getting to in games.
Yeah, I think the ones that are chasing money are going to be wiped out. I think we're going to get passion projects because the ones that are trying to generate all the money, they're just going to get copied. and people will go to the free copy. They don't give a fuck, man.
When great games release, they aren't trying to appeal to everyone. They are absolutely maxing what they should be as a game for their people. And if that is so good, it can expand its audience, then we see these games grow, and very often grow massively via viral network effect dynamics, like say with Lethal Company. And thinking of critical and public consensus,
yeah, the problem is though, a lot of times these companies don't know when to stop, so they end up in shitifying, getting shut down. And I think that a lot of these companies that make these amazing titles should just make their art and then shut it down and quit while they're ahead, quit while they're on top, and people just have the memories of this being a great art studio with nothing but bangers. But no, doesn't happen that way. Gotta keep making money.
Expedition 33 is incredible. It is a top runner for Game of the Year. But if you look at top selling games of the year and top engagement charts, you won't see Expedition 33. It is in there. 1 in 20 players on Steam or Xbox played Expedition 33 at launch, according to Circana, slightly fewer in PlayStation. But what we've learned is the market may be expanding and changing, but even now, in an industry that rewards big games and entrenched audiences, those games can still be made. They can still be enjoyed, and that is what matters. And I think the biggest lesson of all of these is that execution matters and that focus matters. Expedition 33 is everything you would want with nothing that you would not want for a game like that. It is not a bloated, shambling mess, saddled by having to find...
Yeah, I still haven't even played it. I'm gonna get it on sale, though. I can't wait. I just don't pay full price for any game. I don't pay even, like, half price for AAA games. No way. $20 is my limit.
Meaningful work for a production crew of 300 people. And funnily enough, that might mean that it's well executed and that there is strong focus. I think that that is going to be the way forward for the sorts of games that many of us would be afraid we're going to stop seeing. Now, in this video, you've learned how the gaming market is changing. The demographics have...
Dude, so good. I love Bellular News and Bellular Gaming. Awesome, man. Yeah, gamers are dying out, and you know what? I don't care. I will forever be a gamer, and I already am out on the AAA stuff, all the new stuff. I'm on the indie and retro games right now anyway, so, like, I'm out on it. It means nothing to me. I'm glad to see it, actually. I'm glad to see that these AAA games and quadruple A games are failing, because we've been saying that they've been bad for a long time, and people have just been coping, and like, well, this is the way games are now. Well, okay, if this is the way games are now, then I'm out on it. I'm not paying $80 for something that's going to suck and then have to pay $50 more to get all the other content, plus microtransactions. Nope, no thank you, I'm out.